What's going on, everyone? So, LeBron James being traded has been in the rumor mill a lot lately. Of course, he didn't practice today for personal reasons, and that has sparked some more curiosity. But even Brian Windhorst came out today and said he's given no inclination to the Lakers, that he wants to be traded, and that he just wants the roster to be updated, right? He just wants a chance to win a championship. Again, I do not believe LeBron James is going to be traded. I think this stems from two things. One, LeBron has always historically, made pressure through the media on organizations he's been at. I think it's part of that. And I also think it's part of last season, the Warriors going and acquiring about LeBron James. The Lakers aren't in great position this season, so I think it's sparked it up again. That's where I find that at. Now, I don't really want to get into the LeBron James any further potential trade. Talked about it enough. If it happens, we'll talk about it, or if it looks like it's about to happen, we'll talk about it. But until some real movement starts to happen, I want to stay away from the LeBron James conversations of trade. But what I do want to talk about in particular is just the Lakers picking a direction, right? That's my biggest thing. I want to see the Lakers just, if you want to rebuild, you want to trade LeBron, you want to trade AD, you want to do all those things, fine. I don't really think you can do that this season because, Atlanta owns our pick this season. But whatever, right? Like, if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. Otherwise, do what you need to do in order to build a contender. Hit up Brooklyn, Chicago, whatever. If it's multiple teams, right, and you're getting a piece from the Nets, and you're getting a piece from Chicago, and you're getting a piece from this team and that team, whatever you got to do to make it happen, right? The Lakers need to start picking a direction. That's all I want, right? Because there is this kind of back and forth. And look, either direction does make some sense, right? One, it's like, what moves or trades are going to be impactful enough to make us a contender, right? Lakers likely need 3, probably 4 pieces, or one of the reasons why I like Zach LaVine so much is he is just a higher tier guy. So instead of you needing 4 guys, you need like him plus another, like a Dorian Finney-Smith and like a Day'Ron Sharpe. Boom, there you go, right? A mid-tier piece and then like a lower tier piece. And I think that's enough. Otherwise, you need like the full Nets trade. Get a Cam Johnson, Dennis Schroeder, Dorian Finney-Smith, Day'Ron Sharpe, or get a Dennis Schroeder and Dorian Finney-Smith, and then get a Nick Richards, and then go get a whatever Bruce Brown. Right, like that is where I think the Lakers are at. So there is an argument of if the Lakers can't pull off multiple trades, if the Lakers can't make a move that gets 2, 3, 4 pieces, then is it even worth going and making moves to make that trade? And then the other side is, if you do hit the reset button, you do hit the real rebuild button, what can you get value-wise, right? You're not going to get a huge return for LeBron James, but I do think that you get some value, especially a team like the Warriors. I think they would pay probably more than anyone else just because they want him with Steph so bad. They know Steph wants him so bad. So I do think you get a nice return. Like I said, if you get like Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, and like Andrew Wiggins and 2 firsts or something like that, I think that's a pretty good haul for LeBron James. If this was 27-year-old LeBron, you're talking about, you could get probably the greatest return in NBA history. But Anthony Davis is where I think the biggest prize is. And I do think there is kind of like this middle ground where, again, let's just say you get Kuminga, Moody, 2 firsts, and then you flip LeBron into, or AD into like a J-Dub, Dort. Can you get like a Carson Wallace, and then 4 firsts, whatever, right? I mean, look at like what some of these players are going for. You're going to get an absolute haul. I've seen people say that Lakers wouldn't get J-Dub and Carson and Dort for Anthony Davis, and it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, Mikal Bridges just went for 5 firsts. Like, Anthony Davis is one of not the best defensive players in the year. Anthony Davis would make, with Chet, SGA, Alex Caruso, right? Like, they would be the best team in the league. By like a large, they're already arguably the best team in the league. You add in Anthony Davis to that team, good luck beating the Thunder. And then for the Lakers, if you have something like you'd have to go get a point guard, but could you take like Reeves and, maybe some assets? I like the idea of like flipping, maybe um, the Warriors picks or maybe some of the Thunder's picks and go and get a Walker Kessler, so that way you have your center of the future because he's 23. And just go get, now you have like Dort, Kessler, Carson. Like you literally could have Carson, Dort, J-Dub, Kuminga, and Kessler. Right? You're young, you're fun, you're athletic, you're probably a decent team. Right? Like I don't hate that idea. It's just pick a lane, pick a direction. Right? Like I think the Lakers need to at least have a real conversation. What do they want to do? Right? The new CBA adds all these restrictions and stuff. I get it. It's not just Rob Pelinka that has said, hey, like if Rob Pelinka was the only one like that was like, dude, the new CBA is making things tough, then I'd be like, yeah, Rob Pelinka is just making excuses. But we've heard it from everybody. Like pretty much every GM in the league at this point has all talked about how difficult things are and how teams are more, cautious. They don't want to take on certain salaries, and it's making things tougher. But you got to figure it out. Right? You got to work it out to get it. And I want to see, if you're Rob and Jeannie, I think you need to talk to LeBron and AD and go, hey, or like, what do you guys want? Right? Like what kind of pieces will kind of work as like a brain trust, work some stuff out, try to figure some stuff out, and just come to a conclusion, right? Like, it's very possible it might not be able to get finalized in a year. It might you might have to get, 2 or 3 guys right now and then get 2 or 3 guys, next season, right? Or in the off season, right? Like, let's say this season, let's say you get, I don't know, Dorian Finney-Smith, Day'Ron Sharpe, and then go make another move, right? Whatever, Bruce Brown or Levine or whatever, right? And then you might need LeBron to take a discount, and which he was willing to do this past offseason. I don't think it's far-fetched to think he wouldn't do it again, right? So you might have to, I don't know, like, it may take you going and getting 2 or 3 pieces right now, and then going and getting another 2 or 3 pieces in the offseason to really kind of, okay, now we're one of the best teams in the league. But the concern is like, LeBron already at times has looked gassed and has looked worn out. It's why I know people are sick of me talking about Zach LaVine, but it's just like, who's better? What else is on the market that would take the pressure off of LeBron? Right? LeBron's not getting younger. LeBron already looks gassed. Like, who is a better elite scorer that we could get that wouldn't cost all of our firsts? There isn't one. And the contract isn't as big of a concern. The salary cap is supposed to increase next season. It can increase as high as 10%, but even if it doesn't, even if it only increases, say, $5 million, right? Like that's $5 million further from the second apron, and then LeBron James kicked another $20 million. And you get under the first apron, you free up your full mid-level exception. You can, like, there's still options of flexibility here, right? You could go get a Zach LaVine, Dorian Finney-Smith, Day'Ron Sharpe, and then have a real chance at a push here to win a championship. And even if you don't this season, you could, again, go clear the deck a little bit, make some moves. You have whatever left you have. Like, let's say you have, Vando, maybe he's healthy, right? Maybe you can now flip him. If you really want to make a push, add Max Christie, whatever, right? Like Austin Reeves, maybe it's like, okay, maybe the Lakers will finally come off Austin Reeves, or, again, just LeBron taking a discount. Maybe you can go get a free agent or two, especially if you're close. It's the Lakers, play with LeBron, AD. There's going to be vets that would probably take a discount in order to come and make that move, be able to play with this team. It's just, I want to see the Lakers make a decision. I want to see the Lakers make a choice. I want to see the Lakers just decide, okay, we're going this direction, we're going that. Because it's not fair to LeBron and AD to just keep dragging, right? It's still early. Right, obviously, a lot of time between now and the trade deadline, and hopefully, I want at least that first move. Ideally, can we at least get that first initial move? From a trade perspective, like we did with like Rui a couple seasons ago, where we made the Rui trade, and then the big trade, the big haul was at the trade deadline. Right, even if it is like a Valanciunas or something, right? Like, not my favorite option, but I do think it's the most realistic. I do think it's something that helps and kind of solve some stuff, right? Like, can you get that first initial move, right? To start taking some pressure off putting the Lakers in better position, adding some new excitement and freshness to just fans and the environment and all that stuff. And I think that that's something that could really, really kind of just add a new fire to the Lakers overall and the fan base and all that. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you like, hey, yes, pick a direction, whichever direction it goes? Because that's my thing. Like, I don't care what direction. It's not like I'm going to stop being a Laker fan because they decided to hit a rebuild. And to be honest, it's always better to be early than be late in a rebuild, right? Because you see it all the time. Like teams, oh, you should have rebuilt, a year or two ago, and they don't. And then by the time they are ready to rebuild, it's too late, right? Like, and that's what I don't want to happen, right? Like, I don't want to, if you even have a thought of rebuilding, do it now before, a year or two from now. It's like, okay, well, now we'll trade LeBron. LeBron's 42 and, he's ready to retire. And it's just like, now you're behind, right? Like, I'm not worried about another star coming, or it's the Lakers. Somebody else is going to come. But you need to also have the foundation and kind of ground roots in order to get that. Like, no star is going to come if you're, worst team in the league. But if you have kind of the nice foundation pieces, all of a sudden a team's like, hey, or a player, is like, hey, you know what? Me plus, J-Dub and Kuminga and Kessler and all this stuff. Like, we go win multiple championships, right? Like, that's the idea. That's the hope. But anyway, again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, either way, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.